All right, guys, welcome back for another Wednesday night scrim. Hopefully, I can get enough action for you guys on stream tonight to make it worthwhile tuning in. First round tonight is going to be Erangel. In just a couple seconds, we'll figure out the first playing line of tonight, and it is going to go from Severny all the way down to Primorsk. So we should have some pretty good primary drops off this one. Basically, I suspect if anybody is heading over to the Milta area, they'll most likely be dropping the vehicles to head to those locations just on the eastern side. It's mostly going to be to the southeast to where they can't reach. So other than that, I feel like everyone else should be good in this one. So we're going to go ahead and start getting our first couple teams jumping out of the plane already. So let's go ahead and see where these guys end up going to. All right, so as far as I can tell, possibly a couple teams heading to the Yasnaya area. Doesn't look like anybody is going to stop at Rostock, which is actually kind of surprising with the line that we have. I've noticed quite a few scrims that I've been in. People tend to stay away from the big cities. They think teams are going to drop there, so everybody just tends to stand clear. And it basically makes it so there is tons and tons of loot just chilling in these spots untouched. So later in the game, as zone goes ahead and rotates and teams start moving in, they tend to get very looted hitting these spots. So right off the bat, we are going to see a northwestern zone. Let's go over here to Yasnaya, check in with these guys before the battle ends up. And it looks like we are going to be down to a 2v3 right here, I believe. If it lets me... Well, they ended up losing only one, so they were getting in with just a 3-man. So, already seeing some shots come through the stream. Out comes a nice nade right there from Freeze. And that's going to give them all the opportunity to go ahead and push forward. And let's see how this one ends up. He's going to go ahead and jump outside. And Freeze jumps off the balcony, lands a couple shots, but unfortunately it was just too much firepower from him to try to overtake. So that's going to be it for them in this first round. That's going to be, I believe, 3 kills very early there for Team 13. And let's see if I can get down here to the fight going on between these two teams. We're going to be looking at Team 3 and Team 16. So currently, this is going to be... Let me pull up my team list real quick. It's going to be Critical Gaming as well as Disconnected. So it does look like, unfortunately, Disconnected did lose a member fairly early on this fight. As you can see, Funeral is going to be knocked for this team currently. So they're only going to have 2 people still standing, but I'm only seeing one directly on top of Funeral right now. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get down there to get the revive going. And I actually think he might be AFK. Well, I'm not sure what's going on. He definitely had the opportunity to get the revive off, though. Let's go ahead and rotate over here with Sin at this moment. And he is going to be on top of the other member still standing. So currently Disconnected has 2 guys still up. So Custom's going to be back over here prone on the backside of this hill. You can see some of the members for Critical Gaming just off in the distance making their rotation this way. And here comes the push forward from Sin. They're all going to go ahead and start moving on his direction. Ends up getting the knock onto Sin, but unfortunately just wasn't able to take down the other 2 members right here. As far as I could tell, he did land a bunch onto Cypher, though, so definitely put up a fight. And here comes Viz popping over the top of the rock, trying to land something right there. And I don't think the timing was right. Ends up throwing it just a little bit too far. I believe he was trying to go for the thirst right there onto Sin as he was knocked. Let's go over here to Lipovka now. And currently going to be spectating in on Try This Play Gaming, and they're going to be occupying the same city as Virus GG at this point. So as you can see, Lust's going to be just down the road from these guys. Not sure where the rest of his team is currently at, so actually it looks like they're going to do a split loot drop. So a duo is going to be right there in the center, and then they're going to have a solo off on each opposite end. So hopefully they're not too far away from each other, just in case they do need backup in this situation. As you can see, Team 18 is slowly starting to work their way down this direction. So it's all going to fall onto Lust. So hopefully he's calling for backup from some of these guys, giving their location to his team so they can go ahead and crash and try to get multiple different angles on these guys. Here comes the push forward from two of them. And Lust's going to go around to the very last building on this one. They have now moved up to this two-story compound directly in front of him. So he's definitely hearing these footsteps at this point now. Question is, do they even have any idea that this man is down here, sitting right beside the door that they will potentially walk through once they attempt to loot these buildings? And here comes what I was saying earlier, the communication between his teammates and being close enough to provide backup just in case. This is why I require mics when I play with people. So other than what we're currently looking at, I do see two teams somewhat close to each other up there in North Georgia. It's going to be United Front as well as Universe 7. So M4 is going to come around the side of the building, gets the knock onto Honcho with the M4, ends up getting knocked in return by Vinny. So this one is just going to be down to BY at this point. We're going to be upstairs. Really not a whole lot of places to go in this situation. And ends up spraying just a little bit through the very corner of the stairs, and Lust ends up getting the last member for Team 18. That's going to go ahead and give these guys 3 kills. And at least Team 18 did put up a fight. M4 getting knocked in the process. Lust getting a little bit of damage taken off, and Bank definitely taking quite a bit of damage on that exchange as well. So I'm going to rotate up here to North George now. See how close these two teams are currently together. Hopefully we can get some fighting between these two earlier than later. That's the main reason why I don't like to run empty lobbies. I find that running less than like 17 teams, it tends to be a little light on action until the very end. But anything more than that, I feel is not fair to you guys because it is a custom room. We're pretty much at the mercy of how the NA servers are running at this point. Last night they were absolutely ridiculous in boosted scrims that I was playing in. So definitely hope it's not as bad for you guys today. I do know the struggles. Hopefully, eventually, they end up fixing these issues. When I stream for EU on Wednesday mornings and Friday afternoons, I don't know why their server doesn't have any lag like our server does, so it doesn't really make any kind of sense. So we're going to start seeing pretty much all the teams make their rotation into the zone. There's going to be some pretty good spots still open. As you can see, Prism going to be right there in the center. Team 7, Smokey Joe, going to be rotating by these guys at this point. And no shots coming out. I don't think they're ready to give away their location just yet. But common sense knows somebody is going to be in that compound because they usually are. And they're just waiting for people to go ahead and cross the bridge to get some easy knocks. Let's go ahead and check in with Tasty. And he is heading in the direction of these two teams at this point. And you can see him going ahead and scoping out the compound right there to the left, trying to figure out if it's open right now so they can go ahead and take it over. So he's going to be rocking the DP. And I believe, what was that, a 3 times? Yeah, I believe it was. So we could definitely do quite a bit of damage with that setup right there. So zone, once again, is now going to just shift to the north. Nothing too crazy to start off our second one. Pretty much everybody's going to stay in almost the same location at this point. And I'm actually seeing a lot of teams starting to rotate more to the north than anything else at this point. Prison going to come out with some shots right here onto United Front as they make the rotation up the hill. And sent Mata into a little bit of a like a skid. That's the only downfall I have about the buggy. Once the back end gets loose a little bit, if there's people around you, it's ridiculous. Like, it's almost like a knock almost right away. So right there, they're going to shoot out his tires. It's going to send him into a drift. And Tasty's going to be up there trying to land these last couple shots right there onto him. And I believe he's going to come out with a nade right here to try to get the knock onto him. But as you can see, the rest of the team is now starting to pour in. So they're going to be looking for multiple different angles on this one. Go ahead and eliminate the threat as quickly as possible. And then go back to scouting their different positions on the top of this hill to basically give some... And here goes a team crashing into the compound directly behind them now. So I believe that was their intention, was to take that compound over. And Thrasher is now going to be moving back into the area. And once that knock comes out, there's really no point in him basically trying to put up a fight either. And best bet on this one is going to be rotating back to his team. Tasty coming out with the DP, trying to land a couple shots over there onto him as he makes his rotation away. Well, we're going to go back over here, check in with Razor. They're going to be placing some shots up range onto Pooty. Going to be down to just a couple HP at this point. And that was definitely a bad spectator glitch. So here comes the push forward a little bit from Lucky. That nade's going to go ahead and bounce off the side of the building. That one's going to have the distance to it just a little bit. He's going to get down just below half HP at this point. And I believe that one's going to be just a tiny bit too far. The main reason why I don't like mollies, I don't feel like they provided as much damage right off the bat as a nade would. Like, if he would have been right there, that would have been an instant knock on him. Whereas the molly slowly will take his life off. The only problem is I feel like they're more dangerous. I have more molly deaths than I do nade deaths, and it's always when I go to throw it, I get shot or knocked, and then the thing explodes on me, and then it's just like a fiery death. Tasty going to put a nade on top of the third story on that one. Try to get through the doorway. It is going to land just a little bit of HP damage right there onto, what is his name? Swavey? And Binary's going to go ahead and prime one. Going to go through the window. Nobody there to cause any damage to. They're all going to be right here in the center. Jaden's actually going to be downstairs. And another molly. And here comes the push forward. Gonna get a knock onto Brad with one of the nades. And they're gonna push through the building. And Jaden's gonna be downstairs right behind the US. He's now gonna come up. Third person peek the entryway right here. And just gonna be playing peekaboo in the smoke at this point. I can't even see anything. This is ridiculous. So ends up getting one knock on that exchange right there. Definitely put up a very good fight inside of that smoke. Definitely disorienting when all of that happens inside of a building. It's pretty much just lots and lots of spraying and praying. So we're going to go ahead and see a slight shift to the west on this one. It's still going to go up to the north. We don't really have a whole lot of water in this zone, so it should be a fairly good ending on this. Right now, the only team currently in this zone is going to be Team 19. That's going to be Killer Crew. Rest of the teams are all going to be rotating in from the south as well as the southeast. So we should have a cluster of teams right here on the very border of the next zone. So everybody at this point is going to be establishing where they think this one's going to end up at. And we're going to see most likely some teams trying to crash some compounds and others pretty much trying to stay clear. Tasty's going to jump off that motorcycle, ends up getting knocked by Chimoski. And we're going to hear a bunch of shots coming from Team 6 just up the hill as 303 tries to break the plane. Currently up, gonna be Pooty and Lucky right now for 303. Unfortunately, Tasty and Binary gonna go out. Tasty really didn't have a whole lot of protection on that motorcycle. One of the downfalls for exchanging speed and mobility. And here comes the knock onto Pooty from Clorox. They're gonna go ahead and thirst that one out. And unfortunately, that does leave 303 down to a 3-man for the rest of this round. So they're going to come out with the thirst right there with the K9. Critical Gaming going to be just off in the distance. Possibly get a different angle right here onto Team 19 and the compound just below. And let's see where Lucky's at on this one. He is going to be just on the other side of the hill that Team 6 currently chilling on. Let's go up here with Team 7, see what these guys are unloading some ammo down onto. And I believe it's U7 just below these guys. And as you can see, U7 trying to place some shots onto Team 13 in the compound just below. Fortunately for the U7, they're going to have complete cover right now from Team 7 directly above them. So fortunately, they do have the bunker right here. So all they're going to have to do is watch their back from time to time. And here comes the push in from Virus GG. Lus ends up getting knocked right there at the little hut. And they're going to go ahead and get the thirst onto him. That's going to bring it down to just Bank and M4 right here. Diverse going to be just off in the distance. And it does look like they did tag him up quite a bit as that drive in. So Diverse now back up to full health. So let's see how this one ends up being taken on. They're going to get the knock and the thirst onto Scorpio. Now it's just going to be down to a 2v2 over here. It does look like Diverse is going to be into a vehicle over there, but not going to be needed. His team ends up taking on the 3v2 and ends up winning. So very nice job to those guys right there. Let's go back up here and check in with U7 to see what's going down with these guys. And here comes a knock from Ryan over there onto Cypher. Let's see if King Size can get over there for the revive. I don't think they're going to be able to get the thirst onto him. The only possible situation I see is possibly a third party to go ahead and steal that away from these guys. And as you can see now, Glitch is slowly rotating to the left. And it's going to be prone right there in the grass in front of these guys and is going to use just a little incline on this hill to go ahead and try to play some shots. But unfortunately for him, Team 7 is going to be right there with the angle to play some shots onto him, even though Universe 7 is unable. And Virus GG over there may have the angle on Glitch right now as well. If they have anything with some kind of scope, they're definitely going to see him standing there right behind that tree. So he's definitely got the good idea right now to go ahead and smoke these angles off so nobody can go ahead and see him. Because his back is definitely open to these guys. I'm just not sure if they have any idea that he's over here. So Prism was about to rotate right into this, and I guarantee they saw the smoke right here by Glitch. I believe they are currently down to a two-man, so it's definitely in their best interest to go ahead and stay clear for now. And they are going to be running right up on one of the players from Team 17, and I believe he is going to be the last one standing for these guys. You can see him priming a nade, and it's going to come right out right there. Sendy coming out with a couple shots. And Vipes gets him literally down to 1 HP right there. Here comes the push down the hill from Team 7. Cypher going to be directly behind them. Coming out with the nades. All it's going to take is one good nade to take that team out. Going to get the knock pretty much right off the bat onto Dodger. And I believe he is definitely going to have to watch his back right now from U7. They are going to be rotating into this area momentarily. And here now comes the rest of the team. Let's see if he can get the revive up. Try to save this man to keep him in the round. Thank you for the follow. M4. So Banshee going to come out with the knock on Kamoski over there into the compound. And which one is this? So that's going to be the L building compound. So we did see some teams over there earlier. I'm not sure if it was Team 19. So if it was them, they definitely didn't have to move, like, period. So they've been chilling there for a hot minute, I believe. So let's see how all of these teams right here end up taking this on. So we're going to have 7 teams still standing. 3, 4, 5. 5 of those teams are right here in this vicinity. I do see U7 now coming up on the left-hand side of the hill, right on the left-hand side of Prism. So are they going to go ahead and continue pushing up the hill, or are they going to claim their territory on that left-hand side? Out comes a knock from Sendy onto Dodger, but King Size is right there to go ahead and get a knock and a thirst onto him in return. So there's definitely going to be a lot of third partying in this zone. With as open as it is, I'm not sure how many of these teams have quite a few cars for cover. Just like you can see Banshees over here with 2 Dacias. I believe Team 7 has a few over here for them as well. And they're going to have a little bit of a triangle right there. So they're going to have cover from multiple different angles. They're inside of a little OP dip as well. So the only thing that should have shots on these guys is going to be the high ground, which you can see Cypher coming out with a knock right there onto Planet. And I want to say Clover coming out with a knock onto Clorex just across the way. Can they go ahead and get the thirst off before their team gets over there for the revive is the real question right now. And Cypher going to come out with another knock, this time onto, I believe it was Planet. And King Size going to be right there to go ahead and back him up. I believe a nade coming out right there from Team 7. Going to get the double knock. Going to get a knock onto King Size and a thirst onto, well, can't remember the other man's name now. And Zone is now going to push in, give no opportunity to these teams. Let's see if they can go ahead and make their way forward before the Zone takes them out. They're going to be pushed directly into Team 19. So at this point, they're going to have to run and gun. They're definitely going to want to smoke these angles off, but it's just a little bit too late. You're always going to want to smoke your way into Zone. It's always a downfall when you don't have any. So I know the struggles sometimes. So we're looking at our final two teams at this point. It is going to be Killer Crew and Universe 7. Out comes the nade. Gonna be just a little too far. I thought Ryan was gonna run right into it for a second. Ended up backing off. And that is it. Nades like crazy to end that match. Double knock on the left hand side and then a single knock on the right. So, very nice job right there by Killer Crew with the utilities for the ending. That, in my opinion, was awesome. I haven't had an ending like that ever. At least not that many knocks or kills all at once with a nade. So, gonna go ahead and take some endgame pictures, guys. Go ahead and get round number 2 set up. So stay tuned, and we will be back momentarily. Hi guys, welcome back for round number 2. Going to be playing on Miramar this round. And plane line's going to go from Campo Militar all the way down to, I guess, the tip of like the Los Higos Island right there. So really nothing down that area. Um, Not really too good of a plane line, but I guess everybody can make it work. This map has an abundance of vehicles, so definitely always very good chance. So as you can see, Team 17 dropping right away at Campo. Should definitely come out of there with tons and tons of loot. Only problem, in my opinion, with that location is I don't know if I've ever been in a scrim where I see zone go up there. So it's usually always shifts away, and it's always like 3 to 5,000 meters away. So we're going to see a very big shift in this zone. It's going to go all the way up to the top left-hand corner. Pretty much every single team is not in this zone. All right, so let's go over here, see what these two teams currently are up to. So definitely a little different staring at the map. They are quite a bit of ways from the other teams. So I do see buy rate here for Team 18. Gonna be right up on Team 16. So Sendy is gonna get the knock on to one of them as they go ahead and push forward. Funeral's gonna be right here. And Sendy is popping some shots onto him as well. And Bai's going to go ahead and come out from the little shack, ends up trying to take Funeral on, and gets knocked in the process. Huntress is explaining to me what exactly happened in the last match, because I honestly had no clue. Here comes the knock from Sendy once again with the M16. Gonna get that knock onto Funeral one more time. And they're also now going to have to deal with Bank just below them for Virus GG as well. Let's go over here, see what he is currently up to. Going to try to place some shots onto Scuba. Gets a couple landed right there at the beginning. Just wasn't able to get the knock. Ends up getting to cover pretty quickly. And you can see Banshee just off in the distance from these guys. He's going to have M4 not too far away from him as well. So he's going to go ahead and try to land some Uzi shots on M4 as he rotates. And at that distance, it might be a little tricky. So at this point, it does now look like Virus GG is gonna go ahead and get multiple different angles right here onto Banshee. Question is, will the rest of the team having Overwatch right there make the difference in this fight? You can see they're landing a couple shots right there onto M4. If Banshee can somehow make it to the other end of this one, He may be able to land those couple shots right there onto M4 to get the knock. And he is going to be down to just a couple HP now. Does get inside of the same building now as Banshee. So we may end up seeing a 1v1 right here. But it's gonna be a little difficult for the other two players to go ahead and get over here to provide some kind of support. Only thing I see being somewhat possible is crashing a vehicle in before they can place any shots downrange. Well, let's see what everybody else is currently up to. I believe these might be our closest teams at this point. I do see Team 7 rotating somewhat close to Team 6 up there, but as you can see, they ended up splitting off just a little bit. So I'm just going to stay with this one for a little bit, see how it ends up playing out. As you can see, the rest of the team has now crashed the compound. M4 is currently in with Banshee, and they're all going to push forward at the same time, get the knock and the thirst. And he does land quite a few on the scuba though, but I was unable to get the knock. So that's going to go ahead and leave them one man short fairly early into this round. So hopefully they can somehow come back later on and try to get themselves some kills. So we're starting to see a cluster of teams right here on the very edge of the zone. As you can see, they're starting to rotate in. And let's see if Trasher can land some shots on them inside of the bus. And I don't think it's going to end up happening. Is he going to try for round number 2 on 303? And I think they're just going to let them go. But the rest of Team 15 is now going to be pushing up right onto Team 7. And one of them going to get knocked right off the bat. Lewis going to be down to just a couple HP. Team's going to be right there to get a knock onto one. He gets a knock onto the other. And Planet's going to be right there to go ahead and get the knock onto him in return. So Meta is going to be pushing up to the little, I guess, covering right there with the hay barrels inside of it. He's going to try to get both of these guys back up, creating a smoke line to him. And Smokey Joe's going to come out with the knock. So it is now just going to be down to Thrasher. And there goes one thirst. Can they go for the second? And here comes the move in from Thrasher. Ends up taking a couple right there off the bat. That's going to bring him very low on HP. And here comes the push down from team number 7. And here come the nades. And it is not going to have the distance. It's going to be right in front of the hay barrels. Dodger going to go around to the left-hand side. Gets the knock onto Meta. And Thrasher going to be taken out on the right-hand side by Planet up on top of the hill. Unfortunately, in comes the nade right there from one and ends up taking one of them down. So if you guys look at the map right now, one whole side literally has nobody. You could put a line right down the center of this zone. Nobody's on the left-hand side of it, period. If I was somebody, I would be heading towards like the El Paso area or something. Oh, I guess everybody has a better idea than me. Somehow they were all knowing where this one was going to rotate to. And here we go. Let's go ahead and check in with Team 21 now. They're going to be rotating right by Team 7 that they're currently checked in with. And Zing's all going to get knocked from that truck on the rotation by. And Glizzy's going to go ahead and clean that up for them. The rest of the team is going to be back just a little bit. They're going to go ahead and stop. And let's see if they end up placing some shots on these guys. So they definitely see them in their scopes. Man's got an M24. And even believe he's got a 6 times. As far as I can tell, I don't think it's caused any damage. It does look like 303 and Kurdoku Gaming are getting into it. Let's go ahead and check in with these guys over here. Gonna come in right at the tail end of it. I believe it is now just down to Lucky. Binary, the only other one still alive. And I don't think he's going to have time to get this revive off. It does look like they are going to come up right on the backside of this hill. Lucky going to go ahead and make the right decision here. Hop into that vehicle, go ahead and get his team some better placement. And it does look like he is successfully going to get away. Ooh. So now the tables have turned. Smokey Joe placing some shots onto, what is that, Earnell over there for Team 21. So they were the aggressors earlier with that M24 from some distance. Made these guys do some crazy things over there trying to get to some cover before they ended up getting knocked by that thing. And here we see Prism moving right into Team 13. Unfortunately, they don't have a vehicle. They're going to try to place some shots onto them as they rotate. And it doesn't look like anything landed on the actual people. Maybe banged up the vehicle quite a bit, but I don't see any damage lost. Sounds like one of them wants to go. Hopefully they're not hopping in the same thing. Hopefully they do have multiple vehicles. Oh, and it's going to be a Murata. I pray for you guys. I really do. That vehicle is so easy to blow up. The Virus GG going to be rotating into Lucky. Can he get the knocks before they all jump out? And he couldn't get to the backside of the hill quick enough. He was literally almost there. So we're going to go ahead and see Zone Hard Shift up to Crater Fields. And it looks like we're only going to have 2 teams in this one at the moment. It's going to be Prism and Team 6. And Team 21 is just not letting up on Team 7. Like, everywhere these guys move, for like the last couple minutes, they've been following them, trying to get these knocks after they went ahead and thirsted their teammate. Definitely out for some revenge on this one. Let's see if they can go ahead and get them some. I feel like these teams right now are pretty much at an impasse. There's really no damage or shots landed on either side at this point. So, in my personal opinion, I'd probably back off this situation, make my way to zone since both these teams are so far out. They're only going to have about 30 seconds, so the only thing I can see coming out of this one is maybe Team 21 is maybe waiting for these guys to hop in their vehicles and rotate out. But you can see, what is that? Sin right here has now made it up to the compound, so he's going to be right in between the two duos for Team 7. Sin being very patient right here behind the hay barrel, just waiting for these guys to come outside. That was Smokey Joe going for the bus, and I believe his teammates are the ones letting those shots out, and I'm not sure how he knew Sin was there. Unless he was just checking to see if they were still on the left-hand side of the hill, and then his butt was probably sticking out from the side. I mean, it does happen. Third person peeking isn't always the best when you're trying to hide behind objects. I normally try to switch to FPP. You do get used to it after a while, but you have to know like your spatial awareness is, I guess, what you would call it, and know that your body is completely behind objects or stuff like that tends to happen. Let's go ahead and check in with Disconnected over here. They are currently taking on Prism Esports. So as you can see, they are just directly below them on this mountainside right here. And I believe they're also going to have Vinny just behind them. But he is currently the only one still standing for their team right now. Let's go ahead and check in over here with U7, and they are currently taking on Critical Gaming. So as you can see, they're going to be right here on top of the hill. Clover going to go down. I believe it is now just up to Bullet. Bullet does get to the very top of this one, gets some cover behind the little jut out in the mountain right there. Can he go up that little incline right there to his left? And he is able to. And literally, oh, he's falling back down. He's pretty much stuck. There's literally nothing he can do. He gets the knock on the glitch, and that's it. And the second nade comes out, that's at own team knock. So let's see what else is going on over in this direction. So Galaxy ended up staying back to get the revive onto Sandy. They're going to have God Simple just beside them knocked as well. Funeral low on health, going for that revive now. And Vinny is going to be right there to go ahead and try to place some shots onto Sandy. Be in their best interest to just go ahead and rotate out. They definitely would have had no idea that Vinny was right there on the side of that one. Let's go down with Team 13. They're going to be trying to play some shots onto Prism as they make the rotation down. And it does look like Sandy is going to try to work his way back and forth to get to these trees for some cover. But right now, he is going to be sandwiched right in between these two teams. And Scorpio's going to get the knock onto Sandy. The rest of Team 16 is now going to have to make the rotation away from zone. And I believe they may end up running right into Team 14 right here, right on the side of this mountain. And they end up flicking their truck. They had it. They definitely had that rotation down. That is so unfortunate for Disconnected. So with that nade kill right there from Freeze, that is gonna bring us down to our final 6 teams still standing in this second round. Looks like Scuba's gonna be the only one still rocking around for Prism over there. Uh, all 4 people still standing for Razor. Oh, he's a little bit far back. So I thought there was only 3. And they're going to go ahead and take 2 vehicles on this one. Definitely the wise choice. You don't know where this final zone is going to go ahead and end up. You're going to have cover or what. So bus, definitely good cover, especially once you blow the tires out. It's kind of as big as one of those bullshit ass BRDMs that's slow as fuck. Can't take more bullets than 4 people shooting at it, but it's very good cover for end zone. So Critical Gaming now moving up to the hill crest. They're going to have pretty much all of the teams around them. And it looks like Razor and Critical Gaming are going to face off right here on both sides of this one. Going to see a little bit of damage right there done to Jaden as well as, I believe it's Brad. Let's see what's up over here. Is Scuba end up going to have to take on a whole team? You can see them all going for different angles. He's going to go ahead and prime that nade, hoping it's going to land right there on the Scorpio, and it is not going to cause the damage he was looking for. So out comes a nade. It's going to cause just a little bit of damage. That's going to bring him down to about half HP at this point. And here comes the push forward from the rest of Team 13. They're going to be right here on the concrete wall. Out comes a long nade from Cypher. Doesn't have the distance to it. Had a couple good bounces. And definitely almost had the distance to it. And that's going to be another one from Cypher. This dude and his nades. So Cypher ends up taking down Scuba through the smoke. And out comes a knock onto Mike as well. Sin is going to get the knock onto him. And this zone is now going to move in the direction of Team 3. So right now, Team 13 has no other option but to go ahead and storm this hill right towards these guys. Let's go ahead and get a first-person view onto how this one is going to unfold. It's going to be 3 knocks right off the bat. It's going to be down to just Freeze. He ends up getting the knock onto Cypher as the ADS is running forward. And that is going to be it from them. That brings us down to our final 4 teams. And now down to our final 3. So we are going to have Bank still standing right here for Virus GG. And then it's going to be Razor versus Critical Gaming. They're both going to be at full strength. So definitely going to be a very interesting battle between the two. So let's see how it unfolds and if Bank can pull off second place. So Bank in a definitely good spot right there. So not really gonna have too much of a run to zone. Most likely just gonna stay back and heal and try to aim for that second position points. And just let these guys fight it out. Maybe even possibly third party. And Kingside is going to come out with the first knock. This one's going to land onto Brad. Jaden going to go ahead and shoot out the tires. That way they can't go ahead and shoot underneath. Try to move up into the smoke. And that is going to be 3 knocks right now. It's just going to be down to Fierce now. The rest of the team is all now going to push forward. And that is going to be it for our second round. And Critical Gaming going to go out with the win. Looking very aggressive right there at the end to get that win. So, going to go ahead and take some in-game pictures, guys. Go ahead and get round 3 set up, and we will be back in about 10 minutes. Alright guys, sorry for the delay. We're going to go ahead and start round number 3, and this round is going to be Sandhawk. And not too bad of a plane line. Nobody on the left-hand side of this one at all, though. Let's go ahead and check in over here with these couple teams all landing paradise. Out comes a knock in the thirst right there from Mata onto Sin. And Lewis going to come out with the knock onto Glitch and goes for that one as well. And Cypher's gonna have Overwatch, gets the knock onto Lewis, goes for the thirst after they go ahead and take down his teammate. So here comes King Size with the push to the right, gets the knock onto Thrasher. For a second when I thought he missed the first couple shots, Thrasher was going to turn on him and get the knock in return. But very nice job to King Size right there from Critical Gaming to go ahead and get another knock and a thirst onto Team 15. So that's going to go ahead and leave this team just down to Mata and Josie. And where is Mata at? Ended up rotating back a little bit. You can see God Simple just off in the distance on top of the rock structure right now. And is going to be looking in the general vicinity right now of Critical Gaming. Definitely know these shots came from directly in front, just trying to figure out where these guys are at. And Simple going to be over there on the right-hand side, going to get the knock and the thirst. And is going to take the last two members of United Front down. I believe Critical Gaming has moved out of the area as well. They've made a little bit of a deeper push into, I guess, towards boot camp. Let's go down here to Kampong. We're actually going to have 3 teams over here. And Church going to be the first one knocked out of the duo. It's going to be down to just Reggie now. Let's see how he ends up taking on the 3v1. And they're going to start throwing nades upstairs. He's going to go ahead and third-person peek behind the little wall back here. Down goes by and almost gets the second. But Huncho was right there to go ahead and land the last couple shots. Otherwise, I definitely think Reggie would have most likely got the 2 of them down. So we're going to have two teams also down at the Semi area. We're looking at Team 7 and Team 4. They're moving a little bit closer together at this point, but we're going to wait just a second before I switch to them. I just want to see the locations of everybody momentarily. And how close are these teams to the drop over here? So Cypher is going to be moving up on the couple players right here from Team 16. God Simple for Disconnected, going to be very low on HP at this point. And out comes the nade. Doesn't have the distance, and it does. And that is going to be it for Simple in this one. So I believe now it is just going to be down to Custom and Funeral over here. They're going to be rocking out with a 3-man this round. They did land some couple good shots right there onto Cypher, causing them to go ahead and hide back behind their cover and heal up. It's now going to give them the opportunity to go ahead and get some different spots to go ahead and shoot from. Custom going to go ahead and make it down to the rock directly in front of them. And Funeral is now at the rock to the left as well. I believe they're the ones that went ahead and smoked the street out. I believe their intention was to go ahead and try to cross to get the drop, and Critical Gaming just happened to be there to take these guys down. Or don't switch, that works too. So one player currently down over here for Team 7. Let's see how they end up coming back from this situation against Prism directly in front. As you can see, they're going to have multiple different angles on the hills all above them, and they really have no other option to go ahead and rotate out. So Scuba's going to be off to the side more to prevent them from rotating to the right. So right now their only option, as far as I can tell, is going to be taking the road to the left just below the ridge line. Other than that, it's going to be pretty hairy for these guys during their rotation. Actually, it looks like they're going to go the long way around to the right. They're going to go behind the mountain. Ugh. And it looks like some knocks coming out from Razor. Let's go ahead and find these guys, figure out what's going down at their location. Am I that blind that I don't see them on the map? So it looks like they have one solo by them. It's going to be Bai. And shouldn't be too crazy. Zone right now is not going to cause a whole lot of damage. It should definitely make their rotation out. You can see Bai directly in front of them over there behind the rock. And they definitely want this kill. And they're going to go with the off angle right here. Bai going to be down to 1 HP. Going to get some cover behind the one rock right there. I'm not sure if he was going for what's inside that crate. But unless he has some kind of heals, this zone is going to take him out. And Fierce going to come from the side with the wide angle. Ends it up landing the last couple shots onto him, eliminating them from this round. And we are going to have one more after this, so definitely stay tuned. We're going to go back to Erangel, and we're going to see a very hard shift to the north on this one. Boot camp going to be almost dead center on this zone, and I do suspect quite a few teams going to be coming up around the Pai Nan area, so we're probably going to see quite a bit of action within the next minute. And we're still having the standoff over here between Critical Gaming and Disconnected. Is it down to just Funeral now? I believe it is. So we're looking at a 1v2 at this point. Well, let's go ahead and rotate over here to Team 17. So now they are at the point where they're just below the ridgeline of 303 Esports. So Chaos was looking through the end of that four-scope right there, decided not to take the shots. Definitely a good call, especially when they have the high ground. And looks like right off the bat, they're going to be outnumbered anyways. They're looking at a 3v4. So it turns out he ended up getting a knock onto King Size over here. Funeral has now gone ahead and flanked around all the way behind them. And gonna get the knock onto Cypher, and King Size right there to go ahead and land the last shots. Gets the confirm onto Funeral, and that is gonna go ahead and give these guys 5 kills so far in this round. So we're going to go ahead and start seeing some action between these two. Out comes the knock onto, well, he's moving just a little too fast, Cholo. And you can see him right there trying to go for the thirst, but just a little bit too far behind cover for these guys. And we are seeing some knocks come out down there. Team 21 going to get a couple kills as a team rotates into these guys. And of course, it's going to send me to the drop. But let's try to stay over here with U7 and see if they come up right here behind Team 19, right in the middle of these two teams. Possibly even try to third party Virus GG on the backside of this hill right here. And Lust gonna get the knock onto Bullet, gets the thirst. Definitely quite accurate with the M4. So I have heard from a couple people that apparently in the next update, they're gonna go ahead and nerf the M4 because they said there's no reason that the M4 should be able to full auto people like 300 meters. So not really looking forward to that update a whole lot, especially since the M4 is my go-to. So we'll see in the future. Hopefully, it's not as bad as switching from the Up 9 to the M45. That was. So let's rotate back to Team 12, see what's going on between these guys. I believe they ended up getting a knock onto one of the players right in front of them for Team 7. And Planet's going to be just outside the zone on this one, but believe Dodger is going to go for the revive onto their down member at this point. And I do see, I believe, a knock coming out from, I want to say it was Epic, if I saw that come through correctly. Here comes the knock on to Planet as he tries to make his rotation through. And I believe that is now currently, what is that? One knock and one player out over here for Team 7. And the thirst comes through the tree line from Diverse. And Dodger was able to get, what was that, Payne back up. They're going to go ahead and get third party from the right-hand side right now. Team 19 has clear line of sight on them. So there's really nowhere for these guys to end up going. Oh, you're not playing Huntress? I thought you were. No, you're not in here. Never mind. Let's go ahead and check into boot camp at this point. So we're seeing Play Zone go ahead and take out our first couple people as it moves in kind of slow. I don't really up the Play Zone speed in this one. Miramar is just a little too small in my opinion for that. But I do up it on the other zones to try to force you guys into battles quicker than normal. Bank's gonna get the knock onto Queeby right there with the Uzi. And here comes Clover around the side of the building, ends up getting the knock onto Diverse. And ends up jumping out the window into two players aiming down the sights at him. So I believe we're going to go ahead and see Prism and 303 go ahead and battle this one out inside of Booty Camp. As you can see, they're going for the wide flank right now to go ahead and stop the rotation around the backside. Lucky's going to go ahead and push up to the fake car, use it for some cover. And third-person peek over, definitely relaying the position from these guys just behind this wall. But they're going to have, fortunately, a little bit of a dip. And out comes the third party from Bank. Ends up getting the knock onto him. And I believe, what is that? Sendy gets the thirst onto it, stealing the kill away from Virus GG. So King Size going to be by himself over here for Critical Gaming, literally right beside Virus GG. I'm not even sure if they have any idea that he's even here. Unfortunately, I believe Scuba right now getting knocked by the play zone, wasn't able to get a heal off before having to run to the zone. But I think he was able to break the plane to get inside, and his team's right there to go ahead and provide that protection and the heal up for him. And other than that, over here, 303 is currently down. Lucky Binary ends up getting knocked by, I believe, Diverse right in front of us. And fortunately for him, his team's right there to go ahead and get him back up. Out comes a knock from Banshee onto Bank on the right-hand side right here. King Size literally right here. And Banshee coming out with another knock, this time onto Tasty. And ends up shooting his feet literally right below the door. Thank you for the share, Roy. So we are now looking at our final two teams. It is all on Scuba's shoulder right here. And Virus GG is going to go ahead and take round number 3. Very nice job to those guys. Had the very good position right there at the end. All they had to do was hold it away from these teams. Ends up pulling it off. So they're going to go out with 13 kills in that round. So very nice job to those guys. So let's go ahead and take some endgame pictures. We'll go ahead and get our final round set up. And like I said earlier, we will be back to Erangel this round, so stay tuned, and we will be back as usual in, I believe it's about 10 minutes. All right, guys, this is going to be our fourth and final round. Going to be a little light on teams, but going to be banning quite a few guys after this round anyways. So, plane line for this round's going to go from just a little above the Yasnaya area all the way down to Primorsk. So, Team 19 heading up towards the Kameshki area once again. And it does look like Team 7 going to have Yasnaya all to themselves. And we are going to have a face-off over here in Pachinki. Not really too sure what happened right there. I'm going to say that's lag from all the teams dropping together. So currently going to be 3 teams here in Pachinki. We're looking at Team 6, Team 14, and Team 16. All right, guys, while these guys are going to go ahead and start looting, I'm going to grab myself a drink. It's like I just took a whole bunch of fucking bong hits and I got cotton mouth like crazy. So, looks like we're in the same spot as where I left off at. And here we start getting some action between Disconnected and Razor. Believe God Simple coming out with the frag through the window, getting a knock onto Swavey. So Reggie starts to push forward to try to third party the 2 teams back here fighting, ends up getting knocked by Custom. And then Custom ends up getting knocked by his teammates just off in the distance at the compounds right there to the east. So all of Team 14 going to be out here towards the road. And Fjorden going to come out with the knock and from the Hump 45 of all guns. So they're going to go ahead and try to let off a smoke, provide some cover to go for that revive. But I believe with him crawling, he shouldn't have any issues behind that broken wall right here. So let's see what everybody else is up to in the meantime. So unfortunately, this is going to be our only kind of action at this point. I'm just going to stay here till it gets down to one team, and then hopefully by then the zone has moved in quick enough to force some of these teams together. So I don't know if you guys heard me earlier. When it comes to certain maps, I do speed up the zone speed, so it does push these teams together just a little bit quicker. So on maps like Sandhawk, I don't mess with it at all. It stays at a 1.0. Then when it comes to maps like this and everything else, I bump it up to a 1.2. So it's not going to be that much of a drastic difference. It just speeds the games up, in my opinion. I don't like games when they end up being kind of slow. I like straight action all the time. So Team 6 gonna get up on the rooftops. Definitely should have a very good angle on pretty much all of Team 14 if they do end up getting all of them up there. The only ones they may end up having to worry about is going to be these two players right here for disconnected. But as you can see, they are landing a couple shots on the funeral right here on the balcony of the L building. I'm not sure if he was attempting to get up onto the roof as well, but this would have definitely been a very good vantage point on the teams directly across the street from him. So I kind of have a feeling that's what he may end up going for, but they're right there to go ahead and cock block, so there's really nothing he can do there. And Funeral coming out with the knock onto Blitz just across the street in the three stack. And are they going to go ahead and push? And I think they are. And Funeral getting a bunch of shots landed on him by Brad with the Uzi. And ends up being thirsted by Ryan just across the street. So that's going to go ahead and eliminate disconnected from this round. So we're looking at just Team 6 as well as Team 14 right here. And we're looking at a three-man for both. So it's going to be an even strength battle between the two. Thank you for the follow, JJ. I think that's going to bring me up to what, like 889? So 11 more till 900. So definitely getting close to that 1,000 mark. So here we go with Team 13 now moving into the area. So both these teams now are going to end up having to start watching their back, as you can see off in the distance as well, is going to be 303 Esports. So if any of these teams back here all have scopes, it could be pretty much anybody's game right now. So everybody looking to figure out where these shots are coming from, trying to get the easy third party. And as you can see, Brad is peeking the side of the building right here, just waiting for somebody to push across the street. And he is literally going to take complete advantage of it. Oh, if he would have waited just like 5 seconds, he would have had the entire team crossing at once. So Fierce is now going to go ahead and backtrack to his buddy and is going to be up in the two stack. Here comes the rest of Team 6. They're all chasing him down. Definitely know he's inside that building. And it's going to be a double team onto Fierce. They end up getting him down. Ryan going to take a little bit of damage right there. And Brad tries to place a nade right there on the balcony. And I believe nobody was right there, almost walked directly into it. Most likely heard the bounce off the wall and ran back inside just in time. So we're also going to now see Virus GG off in the distance as well. They're going to be at the compounds just in the field outside of Pachinki. Let's see where everybody else is currently at. So it doesn't look like any teams are in the blue zone this round. And it does look like the abundance of our teams are going to be right around the Pachinki area. Brad time to take the 3v1. Ends up getting one. And almost had him. Literally down to, I can't even see the HP onto his name. Real close, though. I think he did damage on 2 out of 3, so definitely not bad. That situation right there is exactly why I don't run aim assist. Literally, if they're all running at you with aim assist, it's not going to put all your bullets onto one target. It's going to try to spread them out between all of them, and it can definitely, in a situation like that, get you killed probably 99% of the time. If they're evenly spaced apart just enough, aim assist will help you in that situation. But when they're as close as they were together like that, there's really nothing you can do. Spray and pray isn't going to do anything. It's just not going to be enough bullets onto one target to go ahead and get some knocks. So Virus GG gonna rotate around 303 now. They're gonna be moving towards the compounds just below. Could possibly be moving towards Chopsticks, but I believe they ended up crashing the compound and getting out. So let's see how far away they are from these guys. So they're gonna be at the compounds just below Pachinki Hill right now. And looking at 10 teams still up in this round, 35 people still alive. So at this point, really just waiting for the zone to go ahead and start moving in, pushing these teams together. You can see they're kind of clustered right there in the middle, but they're spaced evenly apart right now to where they don't really have to battle each other. Zone should probably win within the next 10 seconds, and then we should start seeing the forced rotation out of these last couple teams. And hopefully we don't see too crazy of a hard shift. I'd like to actually see them come right into the Gakka area. I actually like seeing fights around that compound. There's lots of really good dips and crevices, as well as Gakka itself having the, the couple buildings right there that you can get on the rooftops. So as long as you can control that, you really have a bird's eye view of everything around you, and definitely get a bunch of knocks in the process as well. So zone's about to hit, and this one's going to go ahead and shift to the south. Gatka's going to be still within it, but we're going to see the cluster of teams coming in from the eastern side. So they may end up running right into Team 7 right there, or we may see a vehicle battle between these couple teams making the rotation in from that side. So Church landing some shots over there onto Rabbit with that canine. So I'm not sure if these guys have a vehicle or not. There's usually one in that garage. If not, there's one directly below them right here. And I'm not sure if that's one of the dead vehicles just off in the distance, but that is one of the spots for vehicles over here. So it is very possible that that could be their ticket out of here. And we're seeing some action over here between Virus GG and U7. And Queen Bee getting the knock and the thirst onto, I believe it was Lust. And they ended up taking down 2 of their players in the process. And you can see Clover just down the way, knocked. I really don't think his team's going to be able to go over there to get that revive. And then Team 7 just down the hill, definitely trying to play some shots right now onto Team 12. But as far as I can tell, it doesn't look like anything ended up landing over here. Let's go ahead and check in with Queen Bee at this point. Gonna go ahead and prime the nade up. Let's see if it's got the distance to it. And somewhat close to bank over there. As far as I can tell, it does look like Diverse now is going to go for the wide right-hand flank. Try to come up right here on the backside of U7. And from that angle, definitely gave him the opportunity to go ahead and land some shots right there onto Queen Bee, forcing her to go ahead and stop and have to revive before coming over the top of that hill to try to land some shots on these guys. So here we're going to go ahead and see the third party from Critical Gaming. That's going to go ahead and take down another member for Virus GG, making it so U7 is now full strength against these guys. We're looking at a 2-2. And, sorry, not full strength, even strength between the two. So Critical Gaming, not really going to have anybody over there to worry about at this point. Right now, they're just trying to figure out where Virus UG and U7 went, trying to get these knocks and thirsts from distance, and basically just trying to third-party both of these teams. And they have every intention to most likely go ahead and try to eliminate both of these. So let's go ahead and see where King Size is over here. He's going to be in a completely different compound, separated from his team a little bit. And I'm still going to go back up here. Going to go ahead and see a zone shift back up, well, most the middle of this. It really didn't shift a whole lot. It just got smaller. So Diverse going to move in, does get the knock onto Queeby. And that is going to leave it now to Ryan. Gonna move in, land the last couple shots through the window with the M7. And that's going to go ahead and bring these guys to 4 kills in this round. Unfortunately for them, they did lose 2 members here during that battle, so it's going to make it a little tougher at the very end to go ahead and get that first place victory. So I'm going to go over here and check in with these 2 teams at the moment. And just off in the distance, we're going to be seeing ESP, Ryan, and a nobody going to be in one of the chopsticks. I believe Church going to be just on the very edge of the blue zone, using, I think it's a buggy over there for cover. And all the Team 13 is going to go ahead and rotate out of this area and make their rotation towards the zone. See Team 21 to T7 over here, very close to each other as well. Let's see what ends up happening between these 2 teams. So currently, Dodger is going to be in the red 2 stack, as you can see just off in the distance. Pain and Planet going to be somewhat behind it. They're now going to push up in the compound to provide some cover and some help. And we're going to be looking at a 3v2. They're going to get the knock onto urinal somewhat quickly as soon as we got over here. As you can see, he did land quite a few shots on the paint in the process, but I believe that's going to go ahead and give them the opportunity to go ahead and get him back up. And we're going to see Prism go ahead and take on Team 13. I believe they ended up taking one of the two members down. So I'm going to say this one is now just down to Rabbit. And unfortunately, he no longer has a vehicle to go ahead and make rotations in. But fortunately for him, that shack is most likely going to be his best friend. So if he can get there before Diverse does, I think he should stand a pretty good shot, but Diverse literally just got there. So that's going to go ahead and take away probably his easiest rotation spot inside of that zone. So Team 19's gonna go ahead and try to rotate right here beside Critical Gaming. Ends up getting one knocked out, so they're gonna end up stopping and take them on right on the backside of the hill. Critical Gaming ends up moving in, getting the one knock and moving in for the finish. And Team 6 ends up moving right in onto the compound King Size is inside of. Ryan ends up getting the knock. And you can see the rest of the team trying to land that one last bullet through the window right now onto Ryan. All it's going to take is just a little bit of damage from a frag, and that is going to be it. He's going to go ahead and move downstairs to get that thirst right there for his team to get them some points. And can he get the revive off onto nobody within the next, 18 seconds before the zone moves in? Fortunately for them, they do have that UAS right here. But as you can see, Church has now moved into the air. Oh, that's their teammate. My bad. So both these teams gonna have to make up what they're doing right here. And that's their opportunity to go ahead and rotate away. They're gonna do it as quickly as possible. This is the zone that will absolutely kick your ass once it gets to the final point. Well, let's go over here and check in with Sin real quick. Currently going to be knocked, I believe. Well, not who I thought it was, but there's going to be two knocks from Prism over here onto Team 6. And as you can see, Church trying his best to go for the revives at this point. And here comes the push forward from Prism. And where are they going to stop at? All I hear is the vehicle doing something. And I believe that is gonna be it for Team 6 as well. Not sure who ended up getting that last one. I got confused of why it wouldn't let me go down. So Banshee coming out with the DP, getting the last member over there for Virus GG. Diverse going to go out in 5th place. So nice job to those guys. I believe they ended up getting a win tonight. So definitely going to put them up there on the leaderboard. So definitely watch out for those guys. They've been coming back week after week and definitely improving every single week. So Dodger's going to go ahead and prone his way forward right here towards 303. And out comes the knock. This one's going to come from Planet onto Pooty. Dodger going to go ahead and thirst that for him. And they're just going to go ahead and spray through the smoke. And it just wasn't enough to knock the other couple members. So that is now going to bring us down to our final 3. Cypher going to be the last one up for Critical Gaming. And currently, Tasty going to be knocked for 303, so they're only going to have 2 members up right now as well. Cypher is going to get a knock. It's going to come out onto Galaxy. And can Banshee get over for the revive? And Cypher is causing some damage to both of the players pushing forward on him right now. And Sendy's going to go ahead and land the last couple bullets into him, eliminating him from this round, bringing us down to our final 2 teams. So Could be anybody's game at this point. And Prism going to have all four members still up, so we're going to be looking at a 4v3. So can 303 pull it off? Not, well, did they win tonight? I can't remember. I'd have to go back and look at my end game picks, but I kind of feel like they did win a game tonight. I've had a night where they won all four games, and that wasn't too long ago. So never underestimate this team. They do some crazy stuff sometimes. And Banshee coming out with the DP one more time, this time getting the knock onto Lucky. And I believe Binary is going to be just outside the zone on this one. It's going to get knocked inside the smoke behind the tree. And now it is all down to Tasty. We're going to be looking at a 4v1. And that is going to be it. Prism is going to take our fourth and final round tonight. So very nice job to those guys. They're looking at 6, 7, 8, 9 kills for that round. So Tasty going to go out with three, and 303 is going to go out in second place that round. Critical Gaming in third. He and Virus GG in fifth, ESP in sixth, and KC in seventh. So that's going to go ahead and finish up all of our games tonight, guys. Definitely thank you for tuning in. If you haven't already and you're currently watching any of the streams, if you don't mind, hit that follow button on whatever you're watching to or watching on. And if you don't mind, head over to my Trovo channel as well as my Twitch channel and hit those follow buttons for me on those as well. Trovo, I'm on my way to 100 followers. Brand new platform that I started streaming to a couple weeks ago. And then Twitch, getting somewhat close to my goal of 1,000 right now. Sitting right at what, like 889. So only need 11 more to hit 900, but definitely on my way to hit that 1,000. So if you don't mind, like I said earlier, whatever social media platform you're currently watching on, just head over to those for me. Do me a huge solid and hit that follow button for me. Definitely appreciate everything you guys do and look forward to seeing you guys all again next week. So thank you guys for tuning in and have a good night.